A pleasant day to the young and enthusiastic learners. I'm Dr. Shobha, Principal, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, KCS Kasinagar College of Arts and Science, here to present on Income Tax Law and Practice 1. So now we shall see the basics of income tax law. So actually the source of this income tax law is from the present Act, the Finance Act, the income tax rules, circulars and notifications and various case laws. Now to define tax, tax is an imposition of financial charges upon an individual or a company by the government of India or their respective state. So this is tax. Now who is a person? A person includes an individual, a Hindu undivided family, a company, a firm, an association of persons and a body of individuals. So all of them put together is called as a person. So to repeat, a person includes an individual, HUF, company, firm, AOP and body of individuals. Now going on to what income is. Income actually includes all that we earn. So the profits and gains, dividend, perquisites, allowances, special allowance, all other benefits that we get, capital gains, winnings from lottery, crossword puzzles, car racing, card games, gambling, etc. So profits and gains from business is also part of your income. So this is an inclusive definition of income. Now going on to the features of income. So what this income is, how will you identify that it is income? It should have a definite source. So the source of the income should be known. It can be legal, it can be illegal, but illegal income is not acceptable. Income can be received in cash or in kind. And when we speak about income, it can be on receipt basis or on accrual basis. And it can be gift of personal nature, it can be earned inside India, outside India, it can be permanent or temporary, it can be received in compound or otherwise. So all these are the basic features of an income. Now the various heads of income, when you speak of heads of income, there are 5 heads. They are income from salary, from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, income from other sources. So to repeat, the 5 heads of income: income from salary, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains and income from other sources. Now what is total income? The total of all those 5 heads of income minus the deductions under section 80C to 80U is the total income. So all the 5 heads which I just said, you total it up and subtract the deductions. What is gross total income? So this is the aggregate of the 5 heads of income before making the deductions under section 80C to 80U. So the 5 heads of income, I repeat: income from salary, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, income from other sources. So these 5 heads total together is your gross total income. Now, when you speak about this gross total income, this is how your format goes. All the 5 heads of income which is put together and total is your gross total income before you do any deductions under section 80. Now who is an assessee? Assessee. So when a person goes for assessment, a person who is liable to pay tax, a person whose income is assessed to tax is called as an assessee. So you have different types of assessees: the ordinary assessee, the representative or deemed assessee and the assessee in default. Ordinary assessee, a person who files his loss or who files his income, a person who pays the tax or a person who is entitled to refund. So all these are ordinary assessee. Anyone who files the tax, anyone who files the return of loss, who files the return of income and who has to pay an amount of tax or who is entitled to refund is an ordinary assessee. The representative or deemed assessee, so in case of a deceased person, in case of a lunatic or minor or idiot, or in case of a non-resident, there is a representative or deemed assessee. And then the assessee in default, a person who defaults to pay the tax. It can be the employer who has deducted the tax and who has defaulted to pay the amount, or an assessee who has defaulted or who has not paid the tax. He is an assessee in default. Now the representative assessee, in certain cases, a person is liable not only to his own income or loss, but for the income or loss of another person. So he is treated as a deemed or representative assessee because he represents another person. So this is what I just said before. So he represents another person. He is deemed to be an assessee for somebody else's income or loss along with his own income. Assessee in default, if a person fails to fulfill his statutory obligation, he is an assessee in default. Now, going on to the major concept which you will be coming across throughout your computation of income. So, this is the assessment year. Assessment year is the year in which the income is assessed to tax. So, the year in which income is assessed to tax. So, previous year is the year in which income is earned. Assessment year is the year in which income is assessed to tax. So, now the current assessment year is 2020-21. That's how you say. The current assessment year is 2020-21. And it always starts on the 1st of April and ends on the 31st of March. So, our current assessment year is 1/4/2020 and it ends on 31/3/2021. So, assessment year is the year in which income is assessed to tax. Now, the previous year is the year in which income is earned, the year in which you earn the income. So, now the current previous year is the year before our assessment year. Our assessment year is 2021. So, the previous year is 2019-20. So, the previous year is 1/4/2019 to 31/3/2020. So, that is the previous year. So, this is the exception to the rule of previous year. Income of non-resident shipping company, income of individual leaving India, assessment of association of persons, transfer of property to avoid tax, or if there is any discontinuance of a business, then the previous year and the assessment year would be the same. So, these are the exceptions to the rule of the previous year. Usually, income in the previous year is taxable in the assessment year. Now, circumstances when income of a person can be assessed in the same year. So, what I just said, income of a non-resident shipping company, income of an individual leaving India, assessment of association of persons for a particular purpose, assessment of transfer of property which is done to avoid tax, or if it is a discontinued business or profession. So, this is assessment year. Thank you and happy learning. So, with these basic concepts in mind, I think you would be having a brief introduction of income tax law and practice.